Hey everyone, I'm Anna Huthmaker from Huthmaker Violins, and you found another one of our Student Stuck at Home video series. So if you've been paying attention, you know that a few weeks ago I did a video on beginning sight reading. And then earlier this week, I did one on intermediate sight reading. Today we're going to wrap it up and we're going to do advanced sight reading. Now, why is it important for you to sight read at this level? Well, I don't know about where you live, but I bet it's just like where I live. I live in Georgia, and in Georgia, we have 50 million amazing young musicians, and they're all auditioning for the same 12 cello spots in Allstate, or the same 16 violin spots. It is unbelievably competitive, and in our auditions, whether it's for a governor's honors program or a youth orchestra, 1 point can make all the difference in the world. So when it comes to sight reading, you have to fight for every single point you can possibly get. So the first way you can really fight for points is dynamics. Now, so many students think to themselves, oh man, if I get the notes right, if I get the key signature right, oh, I got the X&Os right and the rhythms, I am good to go. If I don't do the dynamics, it'll be okay. No, 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 no. You want to fight for every single point. And I will tell you, it's very interesting. I've judged a lot of auditions. You show me a kid whose sight reading gets 90% of the notes right, but does all the dynamics, I know that that's a musician, and I'm going to give them higher points than somebody who just gets the notes right, but they miss all the dynamics and the musicality and the phrasing. So fight for those dynamic points. And you're going to approach it just like you did the accidentals. When you look at your piece of music, you're going to skim with your eyeballs, and you're going to think spatially. You're going to notice to yourself, there's a piano at the end of the first line, there's a fortissimo in the middle of the third line, and it ends on a forte. And you don't have to be perfect, you just got to get that basic shape in the music, and the judges will be like, aha, 10, 10, 10, this is what we're going for. Now, also, bowings. Do bowings matter in sight reading? It's an interesting question because so often your auditions are going to be behind a screen. Maybe the judge won't even know if you do the right bowings or not. Here's what I can tell you. Bowings can trip you up so fast. I'm not concerned so much about if you do down, up, or up, down. What I am concerned is that if there are bowings in there and you don't notice them, and you're playing away and they all of a sudden trip you up, all of a sudden there's 3 triplets, 2 are slurred, 1 separate, and it makes you go, whoa, that's just enough to take off a point or 2 here and there. You have to notice the bowings, and you have to notice whether or not you think it's going to be a problem for you. Now, the last thing in really advanced sight reading, and I always say single thing is the most important, but this one is a big one. Strange things. Is there anything strange in your sight reading? I once had a bass student who got first chair in middle school Allstate for the entire state of Georgia. And I found out later from the judges, she was the only person on the sight reading who did the DS Alfine. Everybody else, all these little 7th graders, bless their hearts, they blew through it. They didn't notice it. She did it. She got first chair. What can be strange in music that you want to pay attention to? Repeat signs, fermatas, accelerandos, retardandos, anything that changes the tempo, anything that makes you stop, railroad tracks. Start looking for those strange things. Because again, you stick those in your sight reading, and now all of a sudden, you're making music. You might be afraid, you might be in the middle of an audition, you might be stressed out, but you're making music. And that, my friends, on an audition is worth 10, 10, 10. And that's what we're going for. I hope these 3 sight reading videos have helped you. If you have any questions about sight reading, you can go to huthmakerviolins.com and call me or email me anytime because I love teaching sight reading. My name is Anna Huthmaker with Huthmaker Violins. Good luck on your next audition.